best player I've watched live. Like, but with my own two eyes in the stadium.
So look at these names. So you're putting Thierry on the right. That's disrespect.
No, I'm not. A huge game this weekend between Arsenal and your beloved Chelsea live on Sky. So we thought now would be the perfect time for a little combined 11 on the Saturday social whiteboard. Do you want to hit us with the rules?
Yeah, we've asked Cecil and Karel to come up with their all-time Premier League exit of Chelsea and Arsenal players. Obviously, unbiased as they can be, but if they are, we've got Lyes as the mediator.
The neutral.
Well, only right. We've got a Chelsea fan and Sam, Tottenham fan. And
so that's why we've got
Chelsea.
That's why we've got
You get the right players.
You haven't even started.
Moaning already.
Let's start.
Cecil's tried to give me 50 slips under the table since I've been here, by the way.
We must mention it was Lyes' birthday as well this week.
I see what you're doing there. You didn't tell me it was his birthday.
Okay, let's start with goalkeepers.
Who do you want, Bergkamp? I got
Yeah, all-time Premier League Arsenal-Chelsea combined 11s. Who are you going with in goal?
Okay, well, we'll start with... There shouldn't really be an
strong
argument.
side.
There shouldn't
Not the
be.
Arsenal one, right?
All right, you starting doing early shots. No, pair check for Chelsea. There's not really much needs to be said. Unbelievable.
I think a lot of people would have him as one of the greatest keepers. Did you ever consider a Seaman? Because obviously he's in that debate.
Seaman for me, I love Dave Seaman when he was in goal. Of course, he made me actually pay attention to goalkeepers. I just loved the way he was for Arsenal. He was great. I think Cech, obviously, his records I surpasses David Seaman. I actually think my greatest goalkeeper of all time, though, in the Premier League is Peter Schmeichel as well.
Yeah, maybe.
So,
What do you think, Karel, greatest keeper in Premier League history?
This man right here. Yeah, I think he was unstoppable. Well, immovable on his day. And yeah, he's got the clean sheet record. I mean, he crawled over the line to get it at Arsenal, but yeah, at Chelsea, many good memories, especially in 2012 against Bayern. So
yeah,
he was scary.
221 clean sheets, 13 major trophies in 11 seasons.
What a keeper!
Wow.
What a keeper! Let's get him up. Let's go with right backs then. We've got our first disagreement here, but both Chelsea.
By the way,
both Chelsea. This is
there
interesting.
There are some big omissions here, by the way. Right backs, you could have had the likes of Lauren, invincible, by the way. Ivanovic, who won 9 trophies in 9 years. Lee Dixon, who was ever present for many years. You've gone with none of those three. Reece James. I
think Reece James is for the modern fullback is today as well. I think he's complete. I really do. Obviously by his injury record, which is what everyone will highlight. I think as a footballer, such as the invert, he can play in the midfield as well. I've seen it. And right back, I think he's complete as a right back. So yeah, I was quite surprised.
Karel, as the Chelsea fan, you've gone Aspilicueta.
I mean, I'm surprised I saw Reece James, but like on ability, absolutely I have him. But Aspilicueta captain, like other than John Terry, I'd say he's probably the greatest captain we've had, like in the Premier League era.
Very consistent.
Very consistent. 7 out of 10 every week, but like he came in playing left back, then played in a back three under Conte, then moved to right back, his actual position, and was just ever present, steady.
He played all. You're right about that. Most appearances by a non-Englishman in Chelsea history, 508. Where do you stand on this debate, though? Because there's some big omissions, aren't there, as I alluded to?
Yeah, I mean, look, I'll leave Lee Dixon out respectfully because I didn't watch Lee Dixon's era, so I can't comment on him. But I think when you talk about Lauren and you talk about Ivanovic, as good as both of them are, I think you can 100% say that Aspilicueta has surpassed both of them. Especially Ivanovic, when you talk about each is Chelsea legacy. Aspilicueta's got 2 Premier Leagues, which I believe Ivanovic also does. He wasn't there in 16-17. Or
no,
if he was, didn't he leave halfway through the season with Antonio Conte? He won the Champions League as well too as the captain. He's won numerous cups. His longevity at that club is outrageous. His versatility. I think Aspilicueta, you could make certainly the argument he gets into Chelsea's all-time 11. Now Reece James, when it's all said and done, could end up there. I certainly think he has the ability to do so. With him, it's always been a case of maintaining fitness. But yeah, I think he's unbelievable. On ability, he might be the best of all these names. But I think Aspilicueta's Chelsea legacy is impenetrable.
Let's move on to the centre-backs. Now, there's one name that you agree on, so let's do the agreed name first. You've both gone with John Terry. Now, this has been a debate that's been raging online at the minute about who's the greatest centre-back in Premier League history. We saw John Terry being compared to Rio and Van Dijk.
Big names.
So where do you stand on the argument of who the greatest centre-back in Premier League history is?
I'd probably go Rio Ferdinand personally.
Would you?
But that's just because of my preference. But for you,
Karel?
I'm assuming as a Chelsea fan, probably would go.
Greatest, John Terry, the best, Van Dijk. For me.
Van Dijk, why?
I just love the way he plays, like the reading of the game. Everyone talks about how he doesn't tackle, but like if you've actually watched him live, you see the way he reads the game and puts himself in positions where he doesn't have to tackle, which everyone like buzzes over when they say, if you've made a tackle, you made a mistake, and he kind of embodies that. But yeah, John Terry is right up there with him. I think they're far and away the best two.
Yes, where do you stand on this?
I like JT, man. I think JT was unbelievable. I think there's so much revisionism around his name nowadays with the deep block, and could he play in the modern game? But I think he said it himself perfectly, actually, in terms of just how John Terry read the game. You never often saw him in positions where his lack of pace, which he admitted would have been his own weakness, was really too exposed. And then you look at the ball playing, especially for his time. You look at the bravery, the leadership, the trophies, the longevity. I think John Terry is the greatest the Premier has seen.
Stick him up then, no debate.
Had so many different partners as well, and won a few league titles with.
In an era as well where strikers you're playing up against two top-class, world-class strikers. It's a different. When you said Virgil, I think nowadays the game, it doesn't really. It's not
very different.
It's not as demanding.
It's a different game.
No, but you're marking space instead of people, which is probably just as hard.
Some of those people were. With what they could do with football is unheard of. We don't see
it's more of a man matchup in those days. But Karel is right as well too. I mean, nowadays you're defending higher up on the pitch. You have fullbacks that are bombing forward. I think it's just a different game. It's very difficult to compare them.
I think
the only way you can really do this kind of stuff is just comparing how they did in their own respective era.
Yeah.
And in his own respective era, this guy was just dominant.
Exactly. Who we got next for our second centre back then? Oh, disagreements. Sol Campbell, Ricardo Carvalho.
I think this is a good one, you know.
I think
it's a really good one.
Now I was going to go Tony Adams.
I can't believe you haven't
No,
gone
I
Tony
know.
Adams.
I
cannot believe
but
that.
do you know what? I went with. I loved Sol Campbell. He's my favourite centre back that I saw as well as an Arsenal fan. Tony Adams, of course, he won 4 Premier League, titles, league titles for Arsenal, and went through different eras, captain the side, the best one. The best Arsenal captain
ever.
100%. So I understand they're gonna point things about why you're not going to Tony Adams, but what Sol Campbell. And it's interesting you said that. Obviously, coming from your club.
No bias aside. Tony Adams.
Tony Adams, there was a lot.
672 appearances.
No,
he's also a lot of English First Division, no? How much of those 600?
It was 2 and 2, so 4 league titles, but 2 were Premier League. But that's just the era he's born in.
I'm just saying.
And the England team he was captain of, when you look at the other captains who were there, I'm just surprised you haven't got Tony Adams.
Obviously, people, so you're aware, Tony Adams was also here.
Hey,
don't get it twisted. He was here. I went with preference. I love Sol Campbell. I love how aggressive he was. I liked just when the way he came to Arsenal, of course, but also just.
Wait, where did that come from?
He pulled that out of nowhere. Just in case.
Don't worry. Just make the right decision, Lias. Don't worry about
You're giving me a lot of decisions to make.
Yeah, I know. But listen, Tony Adams is here, but Sol Campbell for me is just. I just think
Interesting.
Carvalho, though.
First of all, they did him dirty with that picture.
Yeah, I was thinking that. I was like, I remember with like curly
hair, right?
You know what? It's the partnership. You know, I look at the centre backs and I say, I think in terms of Premier League centre backs, I think they're right up there. You probably only argue Rio and Vidic with them. I think all the stats point to those two being the best two partnership. And that 15 goals conceded season, I can't overlook it, ignore it. And respect to Sol Campbell, everyone talks highly of him, but my era of him, like Portsmouth.
I think Carvalho is so underrated, man, honestly. I might give the edge to Campbell just because I think his introduction to Arsenal was such an influence, such a catalyst in the era of dominance that they would have. Whereas Carvalho also was, but I think John Terry had so many different partners even after him. Gary Cahill was fantastic alongside him, and I don't think you felt Carvalho's departure as much as maybe Sol Campbell did, which honestly, when they lost him, that was a big loss.
Stick him up. We'll move to left back.
3 top centre backs there.
Carvalho was
cheeky though. Having 3 2
What is this now?
Look how many Chelsea.
He thinks he's Amram. He plays a back 3. Come on, give me 2 centre backs, please.
Let's go left back. Now, I think we all know who's nailed on for left back, but why this is an interesting debate is it's the same name who's obviously played for both. So you've got Ashley Cole in his Arsenal days. You've got Ashley Cole in his Chelsea days.
Man, that's tough.
I'm actually not married to this one as much as I thought I'd be, but you know, he completed his trophy set at Chelsea, won everything there was to win at the club. But in terms of levels, he was so consistent throughout. You could pick Ashley Cole from 2002
it's like Kobe 8 and 24, man.
2010.
Which one do you want?
More appearances at Chelsea, more clean sheets as well, more trophies.
And everyone respects him over there. So really and truly,
No, listen.
I think he looked like natural morale.
This is where he made his career. This is where he made it. He obviously he won 2 Premier League titles as well for Arsenal. Actually, he's phenomenal. Came through at a young age, and to this day, he's still the best, I believe, Premier League left back that the league's ever seen. So, I think Arsenal, like I said, it started here, and that's where you
but you know what? You don't claim him, so I don't think you should deserve to put him up
there.
The fan base don't claim him.
He won more league titles of Arsenal, no?
Yeah, 2. And they
More league titles, but more trophies.
More trophies at Chelsea.
more
Eight major
league
trophies at
titles. It's
Chelsea.
a Premier League, people.
He also won the Champions League at Chelsea.
There's a reason.
Premier League
There's a reason they want to include Champions League, by the way.
Premier League 11. Premier League
Lies
11.
You're very animated today, Cecil, aren't you?
I go Ashley Cole in that for Chelsea. I think
Chelsea.
the guy completed the set, man. Yeah, I go Ashley Cole.
Go on,
Chelsea.
stick him up.
Fair enough.
Yeah, even though the battles of Ronaldo were good, but I go Ashley Cole.
Right, let's move on to midfield.
go on.
Again, now there's quite a few differences. Let's start with one name that you've agreed on, and I don't think it will surprise many people. It is Super Frank Lampard.
What a player.
Again, one of the greatest midfielders in Premier League history. Where do you rank him in terms of the all-times?
He's easily, I think, in the top 3 in terms of when you talk about goal-scoring midfielders. Everyone who's compared to him really plays as like a second striker, as a number 10. He was doing it from the 8, scoring 15, 20 goals a season. And yeah, the reason why the man who might come up later didn't score as much was because of this guy, and he was pivotal in all the league titles that were won in his era.
Stick him up. We know he's on, don't we?
Yeah.
Be on.
I'm just intrigued.
Put him off the left, maybe.
We'll stick him up.
Next.
Yeah.
What's the next battle though? Because this is where it's going to get a bit
I think it's
sticky.
one of the toughest debates on the entire list. The next one, if I'm thinking correctly. Go ahead.
Is it?
Yes.
I don't know if it's...
Yeah, that's so tough. This is so tough.
Patrick Vieira
Yeah, I think this
versus
is unbelievably
N'Golo
difficult.
Kante. Both
I mean, they're
Premier
two
League
great
winners.
Surely it's
It's
Vieira.
Vieira. So it should be Vieira. But
I mean, like,
there's a
I
good
think
debate.
Kante
Two
has a
great
shout,
players.
man.
There's a good debate in it, but I think Patrick Vieira, again, another leader for Arsenal, incredible leader. I think over Kante, as Kante got across the pitch and of course, in ball interceptions, but Patrick Vieira could do that as well. Physicality-wise, height-wise, aerial duels, the quality he has for the height he had as well. He's the dominance. Patrick Vieira, it can be a good debate, but I'm sorry, he's definitely...
Is your argument based on how tall Patrick Vieira is?
No. Invincible? I don't know if Kante got the
what you saying for
Invincible as
Hey,
well.
Kante is a PFA Player of the Year.
So is
So
Vieira.
is Vieira.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
That's before my time. No, it's not. But like, Kante,
They're both on a lot.
his impact across, as soon as he's touched Chelsea, that 16-17 season, I don't think we play the system we can without him. Then Sarri comes in and he plays a more advanced role, and he's still elite. Obviously, I know it's Premier League, but that Champions League run in 2021 was unbelievable.
Yeah, it was.
In terms of levels, in that period of time, there's not many you could say were better across the Premier League, let alone between both clubs. But yeah, Vieira was top as well.
I agree with that. In the terms of his position, there's been very few we've ever seen better. But I think if you're comparing both, like he plays in an era where his job is to break up play as a DM. Vieira had to do everything. He played in a 4-man midfield where he would break up play, score goals, get assists. He captained the Invincibles. He won a World Cup. I know he won a World Cup as well. Yeah. Like, I think he's in the conversation of the
Kante
greatest
could have done that role.
And also he's in the conversation of the greatest midfielders in Premier League history. And I'm not saying Kante isn't, but for me, I'm a Spurs fan, so I don't really mind either way. I think if you don't put Vieira in it, you're going to get a lot of Arsenal fans in the comments.
I think Kante's unbelievable. I think if you were to include his Leicester time as well, too, Kante's thing becomes even more interesting. But I think Vieira, 3 Premier Leagues, PFA. I know Kante won it as well, too.
Fair enough.
I think I honestly think he's the superior footballer of the two. I just think he could do everything. Vieira.
Agreed.
I did wrestle between the two of them.
Yeah.
This ball's looking very blue. I need...
Okay, who's the next midfielder? Let's see.
Iceman.
Oh, okay, so slightly different
And you went Arsenal as well, too. Okay, interesting.
Fair.
So you thought Fabregas at Arsenal was better than Fabregas at Chelsea,
Yeah,
despite
I thought he was unbelievable.
I
at
believe that
Arsenal.
as well, too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Ridiculous. Like when you talk about a player that could do everything, especially in that time.
At that age.
Goals, assists, at that age, taking the mantle, taking the responsibility of a club that was on a slide at that point in time. And I think the only thing that hurts his legacy is, going to Spain for those few years and come back to Chelsea. But if he never plays for Chelsea, I think Arsenal fans would probably have him in this list for what he did in that time.
Yeah.
And it's interesting. I don't have both cards. I was toying with the
Why
idea
have you got
of
so
Cesc
many
Fabregas.
cards?
True.
Got
I was
options.
toying with the idea of Cesc Fabregas, and of course that might seem was, but Dennis Bergkamp.
What a
I
player.
had to find a way to put him in this team.
100%.
And what he's done for just what he did for Arsenal when he arrived, all the ex-players talk about it, like Arsenal went to another level. They made another beautiful game through Wenger the way we play, but the epitome of that was Dennis Bergkamp. The way he
If you want to
with
see
the
a player
ball,
that scored
assists.
a range of Premier League goals, technical ability
Yeah,
for
his
a
goal
range of Premier
catalogue
League goals.
is incredible.
His goal catalogue is
Didn't he have
unrivaled.
3 goals nominated for Premier League Goal of the Month once?
The Newcastle one, the Leicester one, there's...
The Newcastle one, and the people always debated if he meant it. And he said, no, I meant it.
Yes?
I think the biggest compliment you can give to Bergkamp is the way his teammates and competitors talk about him.
agreed.
I mean, Henri raves about this guy.
Yeah.
Bergkamp, for me, is maybe the most technically gifted footballer the Premier League has ever seen.
Agreed.
So I go Dennis
So
Bergkamp.
Bergkamp?
Dennis.
I mean,
You're a football man.
Come on, man.
Cool.
That's-
Shout out some of the other names. Well, I know that not saying they'd be in the 11, but obviously there've been something like Essien, Makaleli, Petit, Gilberto Silva. Just shouting them out. Not saying they'd be in, but worth a shout out.
Okay, the front line. Let's go with a player that you agree on to make it a bit easier.
Surely there's got to be one name.
Wait.
Yeah?
What do you mean, wait?
Okay.
I'm not,
Okay, cool.
Don't worry.
I was worried
I had to
for
check my
a
words.
second, Cecil. I really was.
Sam,
but
just if you said earlier, if Hazard's not in this, you'd have.
I would have walked out.
I would have walked out. I would have walked
out
out too, by the way. Huh?
But-
Oh yeah,
I would have walked out
But I
too.
love it. Karel, how good was Hazard?
He's the best player I've watched live. Like, but with my own two eyes in the stadium, bear in mind, I've watched him a load of times, but like, on his day, like I was there when he scored that West Ham goal that gets played over and over. I was in the stadium watching it, like, what has he just done? And that's how I felt watching him. Yes, there's the argument that could he have done more if he was a bit more aggressive and applied himself a little bit more. I don't care. He loved the game and he played it the way he wanted to, and Chelsea won off the back of it. So from the moment we got there in 2012 to when he left in 2019, you could argue he was one of the best players in the Premier League, if not the best.
Hurts me putting this up.
What a
It
player.
hurts me.
Let's
putting
put him
up.
up.
I can't lie, it hurts me.
Let's put him up.
16,
Wanna put this
17
one up?
goal as well. That he scored. Let me just make sure I get. There we go.
I think when he wanted to, he could win games by himself. Hazard. He was unplayable, seriously.
Very good point, that, actually, because a lot of his teammates said that he actually wasn't the best trainer. He used to turn up with his shoelaces undone. He just used to, didn't need to try.
But they give him that liberty, though. They give him that liberty because
they
he
give him
can
the
get-
freedom
yeah.
to almost like play where he wants.
Footballers have that though.
Game
Some are training players. Some are they just turn off on the match.
Tevez was
and
the
they
same
just-
for United. But when you have a guy who can win you a game single-handedly, you train how you want, man.
Yeah, do what you want, yeah.
Don't bother.
Next two then, because there's a bit, Lyes, I want to get your thoughts on this. They've chopped and
I've seen
changed a
this,
little
yeah,
bit to get.
I
Go
have
on.
not chopped and
Reveal
changed.
the two.
Let's see.
I have not chopped and changed.
You got on
Right
with
in-
Saka.
Cecil, come on, man.
What? Wait.
Let's not be ridiculous now.
Let's go,
bro.
Lyes.
Let's not be ridiculous.
Why am I with Saka? Oh, it's been ridiculous.
It's being ridiculous, man.
Oh, come on.
Is he even the best option that Arsenal could have had as a winger? You could have even thrown Pires maybe on the
Pires.
right. I know he's more left side dominant,
I
but
hear that, but I think by the end.
whoa. We're talking 2026 right now. No, we're not talking about by the end. We're talking about right now.
No, but
Live in the moment.
Bukayo Saka. What I think people they disrespect Bukayo Saka so much at the moment as well. By the way, for what he's done for us when he came through as left wing back and the versatility that he's shown. He's put Arsenal on their back. I think,
But all time.
you're talking about guys
all
who have done
time,
more than
all
that.
the players that could be mentioned
but this,
in this
listen,
conversation.
I haven't mixed up positions. I've gone with the actual position of player
Karel,
and the actual
Hear me
position of
out.
player.
Talk to
So
me.
the way I looked at it was, so Eden Hazard has played on the right for Chelsea,
Yes.
so I had that.
Fair. But more
Henry,
from the left.
in every 11 that ever gets put out, he always gets shunted off to the left. So that was fair.
does
And
happen.
King Didier was in the middle. I didn't see.
I like that
I'll
team.
be honest, I didn't see
Yeah,
a right
you
winger
do.
like
I
that
love
jumped
that.
off
Done
the
well.
page for me to say that, oh, I'll do it. I thought you were going to put like Alexis Sanchez
Yeah,
and then
but
something like that.
Oh, could have put him.
But Bukayo Saka for me, man. Are you guys really going to put Drogba?
No, Saka-
Yeah,
Saka-
of course
Saka-
I'm going to
Saka-
put Drogba.
Saka-
Sorry, but look
Saka-
at these names.
So
you're putting Thierry
bro.
on the right. That's
No,
disrespect.
I'm not.
You put
But
Hazard
I was
on the
going to
right.
put Hazard on the right, Thierry on the left, Drogba up.
So
think that's the
Drogba's
best
gone on the
three.
right.
Let's bring
You know
Lyes
how
in.
many
Lyes, yeah, what are you saying,
He
Lyes?
would score if he was on the
I like
left.
what Cecil's thinking here. I'm putting Hazard on the right. I'm putting Drogba up front. I'm putting Henry on the left. That's the best attacking
There we
team
go.
yet,
Yeah,
man.
okay.
Come on, that three right there
Karel,
is destroying
He's
the
spoken, Cecil.
I'm going that way. Can you help me? You put Hazard down on the right. And
Why are you doing this?
Move
I wish
Hazard
you had
there.
to
Come on, man.
This is where you should put Drogba on the right.
Look, man. Even Henry would say, "Yeah, we'll play that three." Even he would admit it. That's a devastating front three. By the way.
That is a
So we'll
crazy
play-
front
We'll
three.
put
you
Hazard
go.
on the right. We'll play Henry on the left.
Nice.
And we play Didier up front.
Yeah.
That's a team, man. Come
Drogba,
on.
King
Henry.
Didier in the middle.
Put Didier there. You know how many goals he scored against you, man. Put it up there.
I think this team right here, seriously, I mean, you have the big game killer in Drogba. You have
Yeah.
Henry, I think the best player in the Prem.
Yeah.
And then Hazard, for me, on his day, just unplayable.
That front
man.
three would
Yeah.
be.
That is
happy.
yeah.
I think it's a great team, seriously.
I'm telling you, that team would go crazy.
Yeah, so
Henry,
there it is. There is confirmation of the combined all-time Premier League Arsenal and Chelsea 7. Only four
you not happy
Arsenal
about?
players